Alright, yeah, welcome to my beautiful explanation video or tutorial or basically whatever you want to call it. This video will just be a kind of quick tutorial how I make my custom textures for a certain game, which based on a Star Wars add-on and all that. And yes, alright. So first we need to open a program called Substance Painter, which will take a little bit, but not that long. Okay, now that we have this open, we click on File, then New, and then Select. So what we want to select now is a certain model that I stored somewhere. It is in here. So we will take the Phase 2 Clone Trooper. Now this is a Clone Trooper from Star Wars, so yeah. But as you can see, it has every little accessory on it that it could possibly have, which we don't want to have if we just want to make a small little helmet and a little body armor for it. So we go to the texture set list and first click on this eye and hide all. Then we search body and click on the eye next to it, and the same with helmet. So now we only see the helmet and the body, but it has no texture at all, which we can see if we press C, because there is no base color on it. So if we would start painting on the helmet now, it would just be plain white, which would look really weird once it is finished and in game. So we are searching for a shelf, which is here, and we click on this little box, the box with an arrow, import resources. Now we want to add resources, but not any resources, but textures, body underscore CO and helmet underscore CO. Open, select both of them and click on undefined and select texture. We want to import them to our shelf, but since I already did that, I just import them to the current session. Now we have them here and almost ready for import, for being textured. We need to select a new fill layer in our layer section and move that underneath layer 1. Then we go to properties, fill, and search for base color. Now we want to drag the texture that is the right one for the right piece of the model. Since we have the helmet on here, we need helmet underscore CO. So we drag that and put it on here. And as you can see, it looks way better now. And now we want to repeat that process for the body as well. Good. Now we have our base texture on the Clone Trooper, which is already very helpful because it will look better at the end. So, but that's not all that we want. We want a texture on it, actually, our own. So we go to properties paint here, after we select layer 1 again, and search uniform color or base color and select on the white to grab a little color that is quite nice. I will go with this dark green because it's a nice color. Good. Now we want not a bigger brush, but a hard brush. So I don't have a design plan for this, so I will just go with whatever I get in mind. And first I want to press, I don't want to press anything, I want to make one dot on here. Then I want to press C, so all the material and lightning and shadow goes away, so we see the color as it actually is. And then we go up here, polygon fill. This is a very nice tool, because if we go into color and select our green now, we can color large areas, but we shouldn't do that on the 3D model of the helmet because, as you can see, it clips through it. Like I do that, it's on here. So we use Control Z by the way to undo. So we go onto the 2D map, the UV map, that's what it's called, and we'll just go with whatever we have in mind. I will do some nice little stripes in here. Probably, well, okay, I do not like them, never mind. Let's undo this. But I know I want the fin of the helmet to be green, because it looks nice. It always does. Then we go to the paintbrush again, make it a bit smaller, and make a dot. No, wait, before we do the dot, we go here, into this menu and search for symmetry. The short key for it is L. So then we go, we see that there is a red line in the helmet, and whenever we move our mouse is mirrored on the other side. That also goes for the paint. So we make a little dot here, then press Shift and make a line that goes here. So now we have a straight line going all the way up on both sides. We do that here as well. Now we paint it on the visor, which already looks really weird, and we shouldn't do that. So we go here and search for the eraser, make it smaller a bit, and just erase the line from here. Okay. This will be our basic design for the most part. Let me do that a bit better. Just want it to be like, okay, yeah, I have an idea. We will go with this. So lines like this are always a bit tricky because you have to go from two different points, one point from the front and the second point from the back. But I think this works quite well like this. Then we leave symmetry on and go back to polygon fill now. We just select everything, every triangle that is inside of the lines that we just draw, and well, just fill it as long as it doesn't go over the line, because we don't want that, like there. I know it's just a very small point, but I'm picky with that. So now we finished all the ones that are directly in the line, except here on this side. And why is it here? That is because of the symmetry tool. Well, at least we finished them on the top, but now we have to do them on here as well. Okay, now we go back to the paintbrush and make it just a tiny bit bigger to fill out all the clean spaces inside of the lines that we do not want. Oops, sorry. Good. We paint it on the visor again, but we can erase that in a second. Not a big deal. As you probably noticed, I kept my materials off to see the colors better, but once I turn them on, you can see it looks a bit nicer with the shadows and the lighting. But I usually keep them off the most time because of the selecting of colors and stuff. So we don't have to watch out for drawing inside of here because this is the place where the fin is. So yeah, it is already green, so we can paint there as much as we want. Okay, let's make this and go to the eraser to make it a bit smoother, because at the end of the day we want it to look nice, don't we? Here is a bit of a triangle and this weird thing here. Good. I forgot about the back here. think that should do it for now. Now we want to clean up that little dot here. And we want to find these pieces here. I'm doing that by filling out the square of it, going back into C to the base color here to see everything better. And here, this is it, this long line. So we click on UV chunk fill and click on the line. Well, as you can see, I've filled the whole line, which isn't what I completely wanted. So we undo it. I thought it was a bit better, my fault. Then we just do this. It works too, in my opinion at least. And just fill out the top parts. Good. Now we have that out of the way. But we need this. Can I jump for this? No, I couldn't. Okay, nice. Good, now we have that out of the way. I want to show chunk fill though, because it is a very nice tool. So we use this on here. Looks a bit weird, but not too bad. Now just, oops, select all this stuff in here that you think could use some color. Okay. This is most of our helmet now, but not all of the armor. So what we want to do before we move on to the armor is do a bit of a special effect, because as you can see, the color is very flat. So we go back over to our layer 1 section, and find this norm. We click on it and select multiply on this menu. And as you notice, especially in the base color view, the dirt and weathering at all shows through the color. That makes a very nice effect on the whole armor, because it doesn't look that flat anymore, which is very good, because that will make the armor look better in the end. Okay, now that we're finished with the helmet, we want to move into the texture set list and click on body, because, well, we want to do our body as well, because just a helmet is only half the deal, isn't it? So we go back to the polygon fill to just do some basic things with chunk fill, like the shoulder pad, but elbow as well here. And let's do the hands as well, with the kneecaps and the shoes. This could already be a basic design, but it's a bit too basic for now for me, because I sometimes like some more complex designs. So let's go here and paint all the way up there, so we get a bit of a V. Oh, that could look good as well, couldn't it? Then let's just erase that line again, because I just had a better idea. As I said, this is all pretty much just what comes in my mind right now, so please don't expect anything too great. Yeah. So press C to get a better overview of all the textures and where is color and where not, especially in shaded areas like these, since these two lines are these two lines, so they don't get much of a light. Okay. And now, after we filled all that can be filled without looking weird, we go back into our paintbrush and paint. I usually prefer to paint on the 2D model and just take the 3D model as a checkup to see if everything looks nice. And why doesn't it want to? Or to do stuff like that. Okay. Now, what else can we do? Of course, we can also do some on the legs, because they feel left out. Some of these parts of the armor are mirrored, just like the legs already. there's only one texture of them, and the arms and elbows and stuff, so I don't really need the symmetry tool now. So you will see on the knees. Is it the knee? I don't think so, but well. See, I only paint one texture, but it moves to both. Okay, now we just go ahead and do this. Good thing is, since it's already a bit lower because of, not lower, but flatter than the rest of the leg because of the kneecaps, it's easier to fill because of model stuff, which I'm not good at, so I won't go into depth in there. Good, well, this is not the best design I've made, but it's a design, and I think it's good enough for just showing everything. So we will just go with that now. So we go back to the layer 1, put it on multiply to see it's not that flat anymore. So now we're done with our very, very, very basic texture. We want to click on File. We could save this project now as whatever we want to, but I'm not going to because I will never need it again. So we go to Export Textures. Where is that? Here. Then we want to select None, because we don't want all of them, just the body and the helmet. Then we go on here, on Dilation Infinite, and click on Dilation plus the default background color. Put the dilation to 0, and keep it as in PNG in 8 bits. But we will put the resolution in 2000 pixels, not 1000, because it will look better at the end. And we click on Export and wait till it's exported. It usually goes fast, but sometimes it takes a bit. That's probably because of the recording. Never mind, it's done. Then we click on Open Folder, and we see here's our texture. Here are some things that are not cool. Thank you, computer. And here's some things that are not needed because they're from a different time. Here are our two textures, and height, metallic, normal OpenGL, and roughness. So, as we switch through these, you see they're basic. They're not needed for us right now. So we delete all of these except base color and helmet. Except the base colors, right? So now we need to open Steam because it is the platform for our stuff. For a game especially, yeah. And the tools that I'm using for importing this stuff. Good, then we click on library and go to tools. There we will find the Armor 3 tools, which I already put as my favorite because I use it all the time. Then we click on Start. Yeah, I don't want to go to the shop though. And it didn't start, but that doesn't matter because I already have a shortcut to it on my desktop. so now that Armor 3 tools are started, we want to search for text view 2, which is right here. So now it's opened, and this is the tool that allows us to transform our PNG files here, our textures, into the right format for the game that we're going to, which is PAA. It's a format just made for the game. So we click on File, Save As, and let's save it as helmet. Very basic, but it works. That will take a time because it's a 2000 by 2000 short 2K texture, but it's worth it. So body. So now that that is done, we can close that again, and we need the Armor 3 tools later again, but not now, so we can close them too, as well as Substance Painter. So now we want to create a new folder and call it add something, whatever we want now is our name for the whole mod. Let's go for test toot. Wait, no, okay, let's go for toot for tutorial test. We can use spaces. Test mod. Go. Then we go in here and we create a new folder called add-ons. This is very important that you do that because this will be the mod itself basically. Then I want to create another folder in here called skins. I always do that because it's better for me. Now we open that folder and drag our two PAA files into it. Then we need Notepad++. I have it here, and well, we could do this all from scratch, but I don't want to, and it's very, you can do very many things wrong with that, so I prepared a little template config with the help of a friend of mine called Clock, but I removed his thing because I worked over this all, like everything, so I put my username into it. So we want to start with here toot underscore test, and well, we want to create a new faction in the game to find our trooper, which we're going to have in the end very easily. So let's go for toot test faction, and the faction class toot underscore test underscore fact like that. Same with the subcategory, so we have a little category underneath the faction. If we want to make multiple subcategories like men or vehicles as stated in here. So let's go with toot underscore test underscore cadec display name, which will be the name shown in game, toot test cat, because it's easier. So now we get to the important stuff. The helmet. We only have one helmet, so we won't need this piece of code. We can just delete that. Okay, now, yeah, your first helmet. I can change that in whatever I want. Let's go to test helmet. It is important to make a name you can remember for a short time, or one that is easy to find. We have to leave this class because this is the base class. So this will be the class which we are using in the game at the end. So from the mod SWOP, Star Wars Opposition, Clone Trooper Helmet, because we are using a Clone Trooper Helmet and just are going to change the texture and the name of it. So yeah, the author is you, of course, and the display name will be toot test helmet. We are going to use this picture because it's standard, and this little HUD. Now we need to find, oh, there's a little spelling mistake, oops. Now we need to put the path into our texture. We are starting with this, basically, which will be a different file format in the end. PBO. So, backslash skins backslash hammered.paa. The .paa is very important because otherwise it wouldn't read it properly. We have some other kinds of hammer, like the pilot hammer, or bark, or arf, or a hammer with a glowing visor, or a different one, which we can use instead of the SWOP standard helmet. Some of them use the same texture file as the one we just did, so we can just go here, do another line, copy it, and well, we need to change the class, of course. So let's go with all of them, all of the helmets that use the same texture, like the bark helmet, which is capital letters written in capital letters. Sorry, my English is breaking. Bark, and let's change this just to find it easily. Could have just leave the thing. This would be the third one. And well, glowy visor, we don't need that because we haven't colored the visor in a color, so it won't glow. So we just go for, oh wait, the Baccara one. Is it this? Oh no. Commander Baccara helmet. Yes. The Commander Baccara helmet is not that special, it just has no fin. But it's nice to have. So now armor. There are against different types of armors. With only a karma, which is, well, karma is a piece of, this is some sort of skirt just on one side. You'll probably see an image of it right now. Then airborne, it has an extra pouch at the side and a strip across the chest, but also a karma. Recon, it has two strips on the side and a strip across the chest, if I'm not wrong. And that is without a karma, but there's also Recon 2 that has a karma as well. Normal, that has no accessories. A pauldron, which is some shoulder pads. So there are two different classes, one with a shoulder pad on both sides and one with just on one side. But we haven't done anything of them, so we're just going with the normal base armor. So let's go toot underscore test underscore armor. Toot test armor, and we will do skins body.paa. No, not 3 A's. Oh, nope, don't meant to do that. Let's see, did we do a word? Yes, it's body. Now we go to the uniform, which is very important because, well, without a uniform, the trooper would just have one. Only the vest, only the upper body would have the texture, which isn't what we want. I just deleted the second uniform because I always have them in this template. There is always an example for 2, but we doing only 1. So test underscore, oh wait, no, it's toot underscore test underscore uni, because it's short for uniform and you can remember that. Toot test uniform. And the uniform class, which will be the class name of the unit. Class names are always, these were classes. Toot underscore test underscore trooper TTT. So now that this is done, we can scroll down again to CFG vehicles and the name of my first unit. Those are the units. Let me delete this second one again because we don't need it. And here, your custom unit 1. This is the class name of our unit, so we're going with toot test trooper, as we already did here. So let's skip that, and the display name for the unit will be toot test trooper 1. No, we can just do 1 because that is all we need. The faction is toot underscore test faction and toot test cake. Then we need the class names, which we all did here and there and there and there and there. Toot test uni. Let me just copy this now because it makes it easier. Armor. How about we go with the P2 one? Oh, how about P2? Now we need the path to our texture again, to our body texture. So skins body.paa. I hope I did that right though. I'm not too sure. But that should do it. So we are going to file, save as, then go to toot test mods add-ons. And well, we should basically put it in here, since there's where all the files are, CPP, and this will be the special file format that we are going to use in the end. Okay, good. Now we have everything set up and ready for import. So we open Armor 3 tools again. Good. And we are going to add-on builder. Whatever, it's starting 2 times now, actually just once. So we want to select add skins in our source directory, and we want to put it in here. No, not here. Add test to mod add-ons. Then yes, take all of these and pack. So now we're ready with that. That is done. We can close this, and we see here skins as a PBO. And if you click on it, it contains the textures and the config. The config is binarized, so if we open it, it looks like this and can't be copied that easy. Okay. So this is a by key. It's not needed for now. I just have it for my own mod. We can delete the test config. Now we're going to start up Armor, the launcher at least. Go to mods, and well, first we need to add a local mod, which is the toot test mod. We just select the whole add folder. As you see, mod toot test mod was installed, mod load, and since we depended on a different mod, we need to search for Star Wars Opposition mod main, and a mod that is dependent itself on it is Opposition Ace 3. Yes, okay. Now we should be good to go. We have Star Wars Opposition loaded, the test mod. This is a basic mod that is needed for everything basically, and this. And now we can click on play. it's loaded. Good. Now we click on this little mannequin and click on editor. And then virtual reality because it loads the fastest and I don't want to wait for loading now. Good. Then we can scroll up and we will see besides the normal factions, 2 to test faction, 2 to test cat, and then 2 to test trooper. And once we load them in, here he is with the texture that we just made, and also with the gun that is standard in here. Now we could instantly play as him, but I want to copy him 2 times and go into the arsenal, because we made this uses the same texture. Oh, sorry, my phone. But the model is a bit changed, and here this. See, no fin. Just had to look a bit more something else, but yeah, no fin. Well, since the fin is cut out, it looks a bit weird on the back, since it's not aligning up anymore, but other than that, it's all in here. Now if you click on play, we can look around at our body and see that we still have the texture. Everything fine. Go in third person and see that everything is the way it's supposed to be. And that's how you get your basic textures in game. I hope I explained everything fine for you to understand, even if you had no knowledge of these at all before. And yeah, that's basically it. Hope you enjoyed, and see you.